Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, happy Monday, everyone. Of course, over the weekend, we had a lot of active weather. Of course, the big story were the multiple tornadoes that touched down over southeastern portions of Utah. Of course, we only average a couple a year, so seeing a couple in one day is pretty extreme out there for us, especially for friends in San Juan County where both of those tornadoes touched down, of course, between about lunchtime and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we know there was some damage out there, including several homes that were destroyed. Let me show you a couple of views here. This was sent in from Allen, and you can see here again we've got that funnel that makes its way all the way to the ground, pulling up that dust and debris off from the surface there. And again, this is a pretty potent tornado. We're still awaiting the rating and the storm survey that will be done officially by the National Weather Service to get the official report on the storm and how strong it actually was. But of course, we know it was strong enough to destroy a couple of homes and some barns and things like that. So this is a pretty decent sized tornado here. This is another shot sent in from the Navajo Police Department showing us here again just incredible scenes there with that system. Now, not only did we have tornadoes in the state, we had our first snowfall of the season, yes, in parts of the states here. Of course, as we get up into the high Uintas here, we had anywhere from about 1 to over 5 inches of snow showing up here with this system. So some of our high Uinta mountains already getting dusted off with some snow. So if you're wondering, is it getting closer? It sure is getting closer. The seasons are beginning to change despite it still feeling more like summer, and that's what's going to be the case here by the time we get towards the second half of this week. Outside right now, we've got clearing skies across the northern half of the state, 63 degrees. Now, there is a weak front that's moving through. It's not doing anything really for our temperatures, as we're basically in the 50s and 60s for many of us, with some folks in the outlying areas in the upper 40s. But as we take a look at the weather map, you can see we've got some scattered clouds, but you can see that band of clouds beginning to break apart here as it makes its way across the lake. Still a few spotty showers pushing out of northern portions of Cache Valley into portions of southwest Wyoming. But again, there's not a lot of moisture with this system. It's just a compact low pressure system with a front along it. And as that system slowly kind of meanders south across the northern half of the state, it will keep the chance of an isolated shower or storm in the forecast. But again, you've got to go up towards the Bear River Range, southwest Wyoming, or portions of the Uintas to have that opportunity to even see any potential precipitation. And I think the better chances of that will actually occur as we go into tonight as opposed to during the day today. So as we look at futurecast, you'll be able to see pretty quiet out there through most of the day, just some scattered clouds with this system as it moves through. But notice by tonight, we start to see a couple of spotty showers popping up in the Uintas. That grows a little bit more, I think, again, as we go into the overnight hours. By tomorrow morning, we'll keep some scattered showers around as you get towards the vernal area. And then notice another round in the afternoon on your Tuesday of some showers and thunderstorms, but primarily across far northeastern Utah, with most of us staying dry. And we're all dry by Wednesday as high pressure begins to rebuild across the area. So as we look ahead, we track that one compact system moving by as we go into the next day or two. By Wednesday, we've got a dry northerly flow, and that means we're going to start to warm things up quite a bit, back to summer-like levels with those temperatures. And then we'll watch this system off to the south and west. There are signs it could start to bring in more moisture, but the better signs are for next week as opposed to this week. So we'll see how this plays out here as we get a little closer. For today, highs only in the 70s across northern Utah. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Partly cloudy skies and maybe an isolated shower off towards the Uintas. Otherwise, if you look at your forecast in southwest Utah, highs in the low to mid 90s here, sunshine and hot conditions for your Monday. As you look at your forecast for the extended range, we've got mid 90s here all the way through Thursday, so very summer-like in St. George. A little cooler this weekend as we try to introduce a little moisture in the forecast. Meanwhile, the Wasatch Front, slight chances for isolated showers and storms over the next few days, mainly east of the Wasatch Front. Otherwise, we're back in the mid-80s by the end of the week, so summer-like conditions before maybe some moisture by the weekend. All right, let's get a check on your traffic this morning. As you'll be able to see, we're looking pretty good out there overall as you get ready to hit the roads for your Monday morning commute. Not looking at any major delays or concerns, but just be aware there are going to be a few slowdowns out there as we get ready to kick off a new week. Watch out for some of those construction zones, and watch out, of course, in some of those pedestrian and school zones as we go throughout the morning. Of course, we're keeping an eye on the roads for you throughout the morning, and we will let you know if something pops up. But for now, looking pretty good out there for our Monday morning commute. Let's look at your traffic and weather. Now let's get you back over to Matt and Alyssa.